Just extremely proud of the kids to get off on a great start. The bottom of the first inning just kind of set the tone for us, and of course having a 4-0 lead never feels safe when you're in the national tournament. But I do know that was kind of who we are, and it was cool to see the kids play our style of game. It wasn't always pretty, but base running is a big part of who we are, and us creating a little bit of havoc, and we were able to showcase that a little bit. And then of course, down the road after UCO kind of challenged us quite a bit, so I've got a big pitch in there to get the ground ball to get out of that bases loaded situation. Then of course you got one of your upperclassmen stepping up again and with a big pop there in the what inning was that? The bottom of the 5th. So yeah.
Open for questions. Sophie, 3 hits on the day. You just broke the single season UNG record for hits in a season. What has been your approach all season? What does it feel to set a record at a program like this?
It feels awesome. I've never set a record like this before. I've just come out with, I'm trying to prove myself and just take it one pitch at a time, just trying to square the ball up, not force something to happen because it'll happen. So that's just been my approach.
Hannah, you kind of hit a rut since the regionals coming into the national championship. What was your kind of approach from then coming in here and having that big home run like Coach said? What was your approach coming into that bat?
I know that the 3 people ahead of me are always going to be on base. Sophie is always on base, so I just try to get an RBI or put somebody else behind me in the position to score a run. And I feel like they're always the ones to get on, but I just hopefully get them in. So that's my goal, is to just hit a hole or do something productive to get a run in.
Coach, that first inning you talked about was big, and then Wicker having that big play, and then the 3rd inning, Central Oklahoma punch back, and you kind of feel the momentum swing. So what was your words to your team?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the game of softball. You just never know how it's going to go and what's going to kind of kickstart you. And defensively, obviously, when they get a runner on the top of the first inning, and then and I probably would have sent my runner at first base as well, but Wick made a great play, and just to hit into double play when they kind of had the momentum, right out of the gate. And then offensively, we just really got going. Like I said, that's kind of our MO there in the bottom of the first. Kristen hit a little bit of a wall. It's hot today. The turf is hot, and she was battling. She was throwing some really good pitches, competing, and just got in a rut there for the last 2-3 hitters that she faced, and it was just time. I should have probably pulled her a batter or 2 earlier, and that's on me. And then you feel with Soph going in, she's got a chance to get the ground ball, and that's exactly what she did. Hit it to our kind of a dead end over there at third base with Gracie Mixon, and just easy play for her, and that got us out of a big momentum. But when you're up 1 at national tournament, it feels like you're probably down 1 or 2. So with the big swing there from Hannah, and Hannah's been hitting it hard, just hasn't had a whole lot to show for it all the time, and it's just a tribute to her and just her approach, and just keep fighting, don't change a whole lot, just trust the process.
Coach, that first inning you scored 2 on a wild pitch. Just talk about the hits-up play of your girls on the base paths, recognizing the second one's coming to score.
Yeah, and that's just, again, that's something we really emphasize and work on, and it's something that they've got to buy into. And when you have, especially the group that I think were on the bases at the time, you don't have to tell them to go. That's their read, and they're forcing the issue. We've gotten thrown out, I think, twice already at home, and that's our style of play, and it just forces the defense to make plays.
Justin and Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me start with Sophie. I know you kind of play on both sides regularly, but I'm curious, in a game like this on this stage, I just want to ask you, playing both sides of the ball, in lineup and circle, walk me through doing both those things. Do you feel like being a hitter with a pitcher is a pitcher, or vice versa?
I feel like I have to focus really hard on focusing on one thing at a time. So sometimes I'll catch myself pitching, thinking about my next at bat, and I gotta just clear my mind and focus on pitching. And the same with hitting, I'll be thinking about pitching. So I think it's really just taking those 2 apart and just focusing on the now, because it's hard getting caught up like that,
And then for both players, and Hannah, we can start with you, the momentum of scoring in the bottom of the first and after the first inning, having that lead, how does it affect how you play the rest of the play? Because obviously
does, like, the anxiety's high and it's hard at the beginning, but just like knowing that you're ahead. But I think today we kind of a little bit let it go for a little too long. We should have kept scoring right after that first inning, but just off the bat, that kind of kills the other team's momentum. So it's nice kind of starting off hot like that and getting some runs in the bottom of the first.
I got a question for Coach. Coach, good to talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
Take me through the process there with Davis and then Mooney there in the circle and what both brought to the table today.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kristen was throwing extremely well. I thought she was throwing very well. It's just, she ran a couple balls too far inside, and then, walked a hitter there that, traditionally she wants to put it in play, and she was grinding as hard as she could. But you just I think the situation just called for a change, and Sophie's just a good mix for them. And then we had a couple other arms ready to go too if we needed to change it up again. And it's just one of those things where, if you can pound the strike zone a little bit, sometimes teams can get themselves out, and that's what Sophie's pretty good at as far as throwing that hard drop ball.
And then I got a question for Sophie. Sophie, what's it been like? Obviously, when you're pitching, you're obviously working as well with Aaliyah White, who's your new pitching coach. What has that been like working with her?
It's awesome. I love Aaliyah. We are besties. It's so easy to throw with her and talk to her. She comes and talks to us after every inning and tells us what a great job we're doing, what we can do better, and she's just so easy to communicate. It's so easy just to work with her. So.
And then Hannah, take me through that at bat, because that was a big at bat I thought in the game there, because Oklahoma got it within one, the momentum was on their side. You kind of flipped that momentum back to your dugout with your home run there. Take me through that at bat.
Well, sometimes I kind of black out, and that was one of those bats. I just kept telling myself, you're not hitting that great, so, I feel like I was hitting it hard, but I didn't have anything to show for it, kind of like you said. But I think sometimes just telling yourself to swing at this pitch no matter where it is, that's honestly what I did. If it was 20 feet over my head, I would have been swinging at it. So sometimes I think it just works out. You swing at the right one. And that's actually what happened that time. But then also, me and Soph, we worked well together, hitting back to back. And I know when she gets on, even if I don't produce that at bat, I know she's gonna get on the next one. So I have so much confidence hitting after her. She's insane. So I don't know. It's great to have her in front of me.
Question for you, Coach. Now, obviously, you're in the 2-0 position here. You got to wait a while before your next game and who your next opponent. Take me through the process. You've been here before. What's going to be the process now as you stay sharp and focused as this plays out?
Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll probably be smart about what we do and how much we do, and just probably let them get their legs underneath us, and that's an advantage having that day off. Somewhere along the duration of a tournament like this, and especially with the heat of the day. So we'll watch and figure out who we're going to play, and then tee it up Sunday and just go after it again. And right now with this group, they're just playing for each other. There's nothing magical going on other than they love to play, and it's going to come to an end soon, one way or the other, and that's unfortunate because they feel like they could continue to play all through the summer if they wanted to.